Hi! Today we are dealing with a very specific problem that learners face with tensors. Of course, you've seen probably a lot of videos on how tensors work and the specifics and the principles behind them. What we are going to be talking about today is that how you can change a sentence from one tense to another. You use tensors to explain what happened when in what sequence. That is the purpose of learning to speak in proper tenses. If you know how to speak something in one tense, how do you say the same thing in another tense, in any other tense? That is what we are going to be learning and practicing today together. I know sounds like too much, but I will make sure that the video is fun and entertaining for you. And you know, videos are fun and entertaining. I try my best to make these videos in a way that you enjoy while you learn. I give all these fancy expressions, I make all these comic sounds, and I don't know, it just comes to me naturally. And I love to speak to you guys. It's been a relationship of 7 years now? 7-8 years, man. Long time. So yes, just give me 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. This video will wind up soon because I will not be going into the details of every sentence because otherwise this is gonna pick a huge length. I don't want to do that. This will totally disturb the motive of making this video. The motive behind making this video is to quickly practice from one tense to another. And so there are 12 tenses, okay? There are 3 headings: present, past and future, and then there are 4 in each. So 4 into 3, which is 12 tenses. So one sentence from each tense into the rest of the 11 tenses. We'll start with simple present tense. I will give you a base sentence and then we are going to change its form and learn how to say the same thing in the other tenses, the rest of the 11. So before I proceed, there are a couple of things that I will tell you as a general rule for the tenses that are going to follow. First of all, if there is a continuous tense being used, alright, continuous, there will always be ing form of the verb, okay? Ing, drink, drinking, eat, eating, walk, walking, alright? Now, if there is a perfect tense involved, the moment you see perfect written, understand, no matter it is future or it is present, there will always be an element of past in that sentence. So something that is happening right now but is somehow connected to the past. That is where you use perfect tense. There will always be an element of past. Just try and observe these little things as I proceed with the sentences, okay? So let's start. Simple present tense. She drinks coffee every morning. Alright, so how do you change it into present continuous? She is drinking coffee right now. Next, she has drunk coffee. See? Perfect. She has drunk coffee. It is relevant to present. You're talking about somebody who's just finished their coffee. But an element of past is there. The coffee is already over. She has been drinking coffee. Present perfect continuous. Again, continuous ing form of the verb. And perfect, that means has to be an element of past present. She has been drinking coffee. That means she started to drink coffee somewhere in the past and she has been doing it. Okay, so it started in the past. There is a connection to the past. Okay, but I will not keep repeating these things. This was just one time. Now we go on. She drank coffee yesterday morning. Simple past. She was drinking coffee when I arrived. Past continuous. Now, I will be tweaking the sentences a little bit here and there so that the tense and the sentence in that tense makes sense. So, I might add a few words here and there, like I added when I arrived. Okay, moving on. She had drunk coffee before she left for work. Past perfect. She had been drinking coffee for an hour before she felt awake. She will drink coffee tomorrow morning. Simple future. She will be drinking coffee when you call at 8 a.m. Future continuous. She will have drunk 3 cups of coffee by lunchtime. So you're talking about future, but you're talking about an event that would have finished in the future tense when something else happens. So she will have drunk 3 cups of coffee by lunchtime. So the 2 events are drinking coffee and lunchtime. Okay, there are 2 events in this sentence. One has already finished by the time the second approaches. Now you get it? Okay, so see how tenses are helping you explain when what happened. All right, that is the purpose of using tenses and understanding them. By 9 a.m., she will have been drinking coffee for 2 hours. Future perfect continuous. So now we will learn how to change a present continuous sentence into other 11 tenses. Okay, he is watching television right now. It's happening right now. Present continuous. He watches television often. He has watched television. He has been watching television for hours. So it started in the past, but it is relevant to now and it is going on right now. That is why present perfect continuous. You get it? He watched television last night. He was watching television when I called. Television, call. 2 events. He had watched television before he went to bed. He had been watching television for 3 hours before the power went out. He will watch television later. He will be watching television when you arrive. He will have watched the entire series by next week. By midnight, he will have been watching television for 6 hours. So see, there is an element of future by midnight. So tomorrow, we are talking about maybe this midnight or tomorrow midnight or whenever. So there is an element of future. Then there is an element of past. Will have been watching. So watching the television started in the past, right? Element of past. And then there is also an element of continuity. That means he's watching it even then. It started in the past. It's going on right now. So that is why ing, watching. Next sentence is from present perfect. They have finished their homework. They finished their homework quickly. So it's like a fact you're stating. Simple present tense. They are finishing their homework now. Present continuous. They have been working on their homework. They finished their homework an hour ago. They were finishing their homework when their friends called. They had finished their homework before the movie started. So there'll be many such sentences where there will be 2 or more events getting discussed in a sentence. And that is where tenses play an even more important role because they tell you the sequence of those events. What happened before something else happened or what happened after something else happened. They had been working on their homework for hours before they finished. They will finish their homework soon. They will be finishing their homework around 9 p.m. They will have finished their homework by the time you arrive. So if I leave the sentence incomplete, they will have finished their homework, it wouldn't make sense, it will feel incomplete, that something is missing in the sentence. And that is why there is this need to add a little extra information to make the sentence sound complete for the learners, for you. By tomorrow, they will have been working on their homework for days. Next is present perfect continuous. I have been waiting for an hour. Now see, the wait started in the past and that is why this is perfect tense. Continuous because the wait is going on right now and that is why ing form of the verb. Not wait, waiting. I wait here often. I am waiting now. So see, there's a difference. I wait here often, I am waiting now. The 2 sentences mean something very different from each other. I wait here often means that this is something that has become a fact or is something that has become a habit. But when I say I'm waiting now, it's something that is happening right now. It doesn't usually happen. So the intent of the speaker is very different in the 2 sentences. These are the nuances you need to understand if you want to speak fluent English. Okay, let's go on. I have waited for an hour. I waited for an hour yesterday. I was waiting when she finally arrived. I had waited for an hour before I realized she wasn't coming. I had been waiting for an hour when she finally called. I will wait for an hour. I will be waiting when you get there. By 5 p.m., I will have waited for 2 hours. By 5 p.m., I will have been waiting for 2 hours. So what you're doing in this sentence is you're putting the listener in that moment when you use this tense. I will have been waiting for 2 hours by 5 p.m. So then this person can imagine that you are sitting there and you're waiting for 2 hours. You're putting that person in that moment by using future perfect continuous tense. So what I'm doing here is that I'm repeating a few things and pointing out a few things so that as a learner, and probably if you are in the beginning stages of learning to speak fluent English, you get the nuances of this language. This is a beautiful language. I personally love speaking English. It has always been a passion for me because I understood as a little child. I understood the value this language had, it possessed. It's a language that connects you to the world. It opens so many doors for you. And we cannot deny that the language has power. It does have it. You want to travel abroad, you need this language. You want to work abroad, you need this language. You want to clear interviews, somebody conducting the interview sitting in the UK or US, you need this language. There is no shame in accepting that we need this language and we are here to learn. All of us are here to learn with a common goal. We want to speak fluent English. Not because it's just a language, it's not. See, it's not just a language anymore. It's an essential life skill. Yeah, it is. Moving on. Simple past tense. We visited the museum yesterday. We visit the museum often. We are visiting the museum right now. We have visited the museum. We have been visiting museums all week. So you wouldn't go to the same museum again and again. That's why we changed museum to museums. Alright, because otherwise it would not make sense. You could have said we have been visiting museum for a week, but again, somebody would ask why are you going there again? Or what is it that you're looking for? Alright, so you get it. We were visiting the museum when it started to rain. We had visited the museum before we went home. We had been visiting the museum for hours before it closed. We will visit the museum tomorrow. We will be visiting the museum this time tomorrow. We will have visited all the major museums by the end of our trip. By next year, we will have been visiting this museum annually for a decade. So now is the time I ask you to support this channel by liking this video, because this is the best way you can support this video if you like it. Okay, like it only if you like it. And if you think that I have done a good job with this video, if you watched it till here, chances are that you like it. Okay, moving on. Past continuous. She was reading when the phone rang. So if I say she was reading, it wouldn't sound complete, and that is why you add extra information. Now imagine a listener and a speaker talking to each other. They will obviously put some extra information, and that is why I'm just repeating it for the sake of pedagogy. It's a good pedagogical approach to repeat a few things for learners because it helps them get inside their head more easily that way. It's not that I forget that I've already told you. I remember. It's intentional. Okay. She reads often. She is reading now. She has read that book. She has been reading all afternoon. She read the book yesterday. She had read the chapter before the phone rang. She had been reading for an hour when the phone rang. She will have read tonight. She will be reading when you arrive. She will have read the entire book by tomorrow. By 8 p.m., she will have been reading for 3 hours. Now, I want to remind you there is a PDF in the description of this video. Please don't forget to download it. It's for your help. All these sentences are there. Okay, maybe sometime in the night when you get some time, just open your phone, go through these sentences and try to understand how the sentences differ from each other. Okay, apart from that, there is a small test for you. Just submit the test after watching this video, and once you submit the test, you will receive your score right then and there. All right, moving on. Past perfect. He had eaten breakfast before he left. He eats breakfast early. Now, if I say he eats breakfast, it will be very weird because everybody eats breakfast. Why am I stating it? Why am I saying it? And that is why I added an extra piece of information, early. So everybody eats breakfast, but he eats early. Get it? He is eating breakfast now. He has eaten breakfast. He has been eating breakfast for 15 minutes. He ate breakfast this morning. He was eating breakfast when the news came on. He had been eating breakfast for only 5 minutes before he had to leave. He will eat breakfast later. He will be eating breakfast when you call at 7 a.m. He will have eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. By 8 a.m., he will have been eating breakfast for an hour. Now, future perfect continuous generally makes the longest sentences. if you notice. Moving on. Past perfect continuous. They had been playing soccer for 2 hours when it started to rain. They play soccer every weekend. They are playing soccer now. They have played soccer today. They have been playing soccer for 2 hours. They played soccer yesterday. They were playing soccer when it started to rain. They had played soccer before it started to rain. They will play soccer tomorrow. They will be playing soccer at 4 p.m. tomorrow. They will have played soccer for 2 hours by the time the sun sets. By 6 p.m., they will have been playing soccer for 4 hours. Simple future. I will call you tomorrow. Now let's change it to simple present. I call you every day. I am calling you right now. I have called you. I have been calling you all morning. I called you yesterday. I was calling you when my battery died. I had called you before I left the office. I had been calling you for 10 minutes before you finally answered. I will be calling you around noon tomorrow. I will have called you by 5 p.m. tomorrow. By tomorrow evening, I will have been calling you multiple times. Now this is weird to say. It sounds like a stalker is talking to somebody. Future continuous. This time next week we will be flying to Paris. I wish. We fly to Paris every year. Who does? We are flying to Paris right now. We have flown to Paris before. We have been flying for 6 hours already. We flew to Paris last year. We were flying over the Alps when the turbulence hit. We had flown for 8 hours before we finally landed in Paris. We had been flying for 8 hours when we finally saw Paris below. We will fly to Paris next week. We will have flown over 3,000 miles by the time we reach Paris. By the time we land, we will have been flying for 9 hours. Now we're starting with the 11th one. Future perfect. She will have graduated by June. She graduates in June. She is graduating this year. She has graduated. She has been studying for years. You can't say she has been graduating for years, so that's why we changed the word. She graduated last June. She had graduated before she moved abroad. She had been studying for 4 years before she graduated. She will graduate in June. She will be graduating around the same time as her brother. By June, she will have been studying for 4 years. So again, graduating changed to studying to make more sense. To make sense. Okay, last one. Future perfect continuous. By 10 p.m., we will have been studying for 5 hours. He studies for 5 hours every night. He's studying now. He has studied for 5 hours today. He has been studying for 5 hours. He studied for 5 hours last night. He was studying when I went to bed. He had studied for 5 hours before he took a break. He had been studying for 5 hours when the power went out. He will study for 5 hours tonight. He will be studying at 10 p.m. tonight. By 10 p.m., he will have studied for 5 hours. And that brings me to the end of this video. Now I must remind you, there is a PDF and there is a test that you have to take. And once you take the test, you have to tell me your score below. Okay, and share this video with somebody you care about, you want to learn with. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, good night. I'm really tired. I'm recording this video at 10 p.m. I'll tell you exact time. Oh my god, it's 10:15. I'm very sleepy. Suddenly I'm very sleepy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.